Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. My homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's pay our respect to our teacher, Pinat Lokusami Nase also. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good. So, today we want to know, we are starting the fourth sector of the foundation of mindfulness, or the Satipaṭṭhāna. So therefore, first we need to figure out those 5 hindrances within ourselves. So therefore, take a 5 minute and bring your attention to your breath also, and then try to find which hindrances are available in you in this moment when you bring your attention. So which hindrance mean? There are 5, right? The one is that mind is going along with the sensual pleasures. So you want to bring your attention to your breath, but your mind is thinking about the delicious dinner you're going to have, about the movie you're going to watch, something else, or any sort of a sensual happiness. So if so, just figure out, okay, this is the hindrance. This is the first hindrance. Second hindrance is you want to focus to your breath, but for some reason you are pretty angry with someone. It's not so serious, but it's just going in your background. Okay, then that's the second one. Then the third one is the sleepiness, drowsiness, maybe due to the tiredness you are in, and maybe you didn't have enough sleep. So likewise, maybe. So then figure out, okay, this is the third hindrance. The fourth one is the most common one, the wandering and worrying. Mind just wandering like a monkey, jumping from one tree to another tree, one branch to another branch. So likewise, going along with one thought to another thought. So it's the fourth one. The fifth one is the doubtfulness. You want to keep focus to the breath, but you are not sure whether am I doing this correctly. So just figure out which hindrance you have in this moment. The reason is, in that 5 minutes, try to find out the hindrance, and then again try to figure out the reason, because in here we need to figure out the reason. We are not saying that, okay, this is how I have built. We going through the real reason, and we are going to not to feed the real reason to overcome from that hindrance. Okay. Close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Okay. Right. So before we going with the different going through the sutta, it's better to discuss with couple of our participants. And did you find any hindrance? Sometimes mind is a little cunning, right? So when you want to meditate, then it will show all the hindrances in the world. But when you want to see the hindrances while meditating, it will don't show even a single hindrance, and it will keep focus to the breath also. So, so mind is very good at those things. But anyway, so I just want to know if you were able to figure out, if you're able to find even a single hindrance, and then because we need to learn how hindrance, how so what is the hindrance and how it arise, how it stay, and how it fall. And because all hindrances are there because of the of a reason, or because of some nutritions it receives. So that's why we need to create this discussion before we dive into the sutta. Do you have any idea of what is, so any hindrance you had during this short meditation?
Yeah, well, I think it's this hindrance I always face when I try to meditate, and I cannot stop thinking about the projects that I was just working like 15 minutes ago. I'm not sure exactly what hinders it, but it's always been an issue for me to meditate. Just keep thinking about what I was doing, like before
Okay.
meditation.
Okay. The projects means I assume that you're a professor, right? You're teaching or something, right?
I'm a scientist, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, shall we think like this? So you want to bring your attention to this moment, to the breath, but your mind is wondering the things you have to complete and things. So it's not a desire, like you don't have like full wish to commit your whole life to that, but it's your duty and responsibility. So it's most of the time it can be the wandering and worrying, or the fourth hindrance, which creates the stress in our mind. Why that comes? So that the fourth hindrance comes, we say Chetusocha Aupasamo and the Ayoniso Mansikara. Chetusocha Aupasamo means mind does not have that peace and that inner peace at the moment. In this moment, the example is like the mind is, if your mind is like a pond, it's like the waving so hard, the waves are so high and thick. So likewise, since we do not feel that serenity in our mind, that is the reason the wandering and worrying arises. But it can't arise alone without the ayoniso manasikara. Ayoniso manasikara means the wrong way of thinking. So the wrong way of thinking is like the inbuilt way we used to think. Like it's not why whenever that thought pattern arises, that mindset arises, that means less of serenity within ourselves. Our mind, based on that, it's just going through from thought to thought. If we reflect ourselves, what we can understand is that most addictive thing and the most addiction we all have in our life, not the alcohol, no any sort of watching movies or anything, but to the thinking. Whenever the thought arises, we keep on thinking, keep on thinking. So reason is the less serenity in our mind plus the wrong way of thinking. So the wrong way of thinking means instead of identifying this is a hindrance, we going along with the thoughts which our minds brings in this moment. In Andre's example, uh, I have to do projects, I have to complete these assignments, and how can I do that? When it comes, we give kind of a value to that thought. And then what will happen? It brings, hey, you have to finish not only that, this. And so the thing is, if you focus to that assignment, then mind brings another one instead of keep focusing to that, because mind is not in here like a supporter. Hey, you have to do this, and when you're finishing the assignment or the project taking things, mind will say, hey, you didn't give her a call to that person, right? Or you didn't follow up that thing. Then mind asking to do something else, like asking us to jump to something else. So that's the way of mind. So in that way, give kind of a serenity or calmness to your mind, knowing that this is a hindrance, and then do not give any value to that thought. See that rising and falling, being here, present, and see this, and so very like this is so normal. Why it's so normal? Because when lack of serenity creates this waving of thoughts. So like guys, we have to understand that. So we can dive into that when we learning the Dhammanupassana. Remember that that less serenity also, we can just say it's a defilement. We can use it to improve our mindfulness, because when you know that this is what going on me, then you are practicing the fourth foundation of mindfulness, and then the fourth sect of the fourth foundation of the mindfulness. So therefore, don't worry about that. And thank you again for bringing that the actual example which we can discuss. Okay. Are there anyone else other than the wandering mind?
Yeah. So, hi, this is Palak. So, yeah, I think my example is also same. So when you said for 5 minutes think about some hindrance, I don't think I did that. So after 30 seconds, I think my mind went somewhere else, and I forgot that what you have asked for, and yeah, different thoughts were coming.
Right. So then we know that that's the fourth hindrance. Good.
Yeah.
And anyone found the complete opposite of that? So tired, sleepy, drowsy. No, Bhante, we don't know that hindrance. We always so energetic. Is that so? I was so busy. I had to go to some places in the afternoon, and then I was so tired, and I had a small nap, to be honest. But if I didn't had that, so what I have, what should be in me, like I should be feel like so tired, and when I focus to the breath for at least the first 20 minutes, I have to struggle with the drowsiness and the sleepiness. So how it happens? When we bring our attention to our breath, so there are some reasons, like there are saying like 5 reasons. Arati tandi vijambika bhatta sammado chetaso chalinatam. From that, just to make a small discussion, we can say like mind is not ready to meditate in this moment, like a kind of a resistance. Hey, I'm not ready for that. And then the drowsiness and the sleepiness, and that the body is not ready. Then the third one is you had uh, a good meal, and then you have less oxygen in the brain because the stomach take the rest of the oxygen. So, and then the not only the body, in the body side, the mind also has that that lean, means like chetosocha leanata, means your mind is not ready to actively involve with kind of activity like a brain fog, such a thing. So with that, the wrong way of thinking means going along with that, enjoying that way of that mind. So the rest of the people may think, oh, he's meditating, but he just pretending meditating. What will happen? He will just fall into sleep, and after like 15 minutes of a good nap, he will say, oh, I had a good meditation. What did you meditation? No, I didn't any I didn't know what was during the meditation, but I feel calm. Then we should say that, oh, you probably had a nap while sitting instead of meditating. So if it is the right meditation, there you may fall into sleep 5 minutes, maybe 7, 10, but suddenly you feel like, oh, I'm not meditating. You straight your back and you bring your attention with kind of a courage. And it's kind of a back and forth try, but there will be a time that suddenly your energy is ready to overcome from that drowsiness and sleepiness. And then after like 20, shall we say 30 minutes, you are ready. Until then, you also feel like moving your head, and so that's normal. Right. I wish no one have this hindrance in this moment, but some of you may have experienced that you want to meditate, but behind in the background, you are so angry with someone, think that you are coming to Sunday even meditation while you are driving with super nice, steady, and with mindful. Someone just made some sort of a crazy thing, and you were almost in front of, like you almost met an accident. So then you're super upset about that, what was happened, because it's a really serious thing. Now you want to meditate, but in the background, think that you are meditating, may all beings be well, happy. But while you are thinking that in the background, parallelly, you are scolding that person. That means your best feeling is entangled or connected with the anger. That anger is going along with that background thoughts instead of the thought which you would like to create with the love and the kindness. So that's the second hindrance. That's the second hindrance, that anger. Sometimes these days, a couple of meditators telling me, "How Bhante, I want to overcome from this sensual desire. It's hitting me so hard. So how to overcome from that?" So I'm telling them that different approach, and so it's too hard. Like you want to meditate, but the mind thinking about the sensual pleasures. So that's also a serious thing. You want to overcome from that with thinking that impurity meditation also. That also kind of a hindrance. So why do we say that hindrance? Hindrance means this five things. Oh, we just talk about fourth. The fifth one is the doubtfulness. You are meditating, but even your attention is with your anchor point. Your mind is not sure. Am I doing this right? How about trying this way? How about trying this way? Like always creating serious doubtfulness. That also not allowing you to concentrate well. So all these connecting with the wrong way of thinking creates hindrances. So those are the five hindrances. So if anyone fail to understand this and control it and calm yourself and settle your mind, no matter how hard you try, even a 5 years, you do not able to have the mindful concentration and happiness. I mean, consistently. If you would like to have it consistently, you have to understand these five and you have to control it. If you do that, you will be gifted the mind with consistent calm and the serenity. So that consistent means, yes, of course, you may fall into the trap of hindrance, but you can easily break. Inconsistent means you had a great opportunity to experience that calmness 2 months ago, and when you are sitting, you are expecting that calmness still, and you are sitting with that expectation, you don't experience it. Why? You are not addressing the five hindrances as you should. So that's how it works. So now I think it's the time to go through the sutta teaching. So are there anyone, when you focused your breath in this short period of time, found any hindrance other than these five? Usually there is no other thing, but there can be, there may be some thought we couldn't figure out it goes in which basket. So feel free to ask, and then we can put it to the right basket. Seems like no, right? Okay. Let's dive into the sutta then.
Monks. A monk abides observing phenomena as phenomena in relation to the five obstacles. Monks. How does a monk abide observing phenomena as phenomena in relation to the 5 obstacles. Monks, if there's a sensual desire in a monk, he understands this is sensual desire in me. Or if there is no sensual desire in him, he understands there is no sensual desire in me. He understands the arising of unarisen sensual desire, the abandoning of arisen sensual desire, and the future non-arising of abandoned sensual desire. If there is aversion in him, if there is dullness,
Mike, continue with that. If there is aversion in him, in a monk, he understands there is aversion. So shall we say just simply anger?
Okay, I see. So if there is aversion in him, he understands there is aversion or anger in me. Or if there is no anger in him, he understands there is no anger inside me. He understands the arising of unarisen anger and the abandoning of arisen anger and the future of non-arising of abandoning anger. If there is dullness and sleepiness in him, he understands there is dullness and sleepiness in me. Or if there is no sleep, dullness and sleepiness in him, he understands there is no sleepiness or dullness and sleepiness in him. He understands the arising of unarisen dullness and sleepiness and the abandoning of arisening dullness and sleepiness and the future non-arising of abandoning dullness and sleepiness. Monks, if there is restlessness and anxiety in a monk, he understands there is restlessness and anxiety in me. Or if there is no restlessness and anxiety in him, he understands there is no restlessness or anxiety in me. He understands the arising of unarisen restlessness and anxiety and the abandoning of arisen restlessness and anxiety and the future non-arising of abandoned restlessness and anxiety. If there is doubt in him, he understands there is doubt in me. Or if there's no doubt in him, he understands there is no doubt in me. He understands the arising of unarisen doubt, the abandoning of arisen doubt, and the future non-arising of abandoned doubt. In this way, one abides observing phenomena as phenomena internally, or one abides observing phenomena as phenomena externally, or one abides observing phenomena as phenomena both internally and externally, or one abides observing the nature of manifestation in relation to phenomena, or one abides observing the nature of cessation in the relation to phenomena, or one abides observing the nature of both manifestation and cessation in relation to phenomena, or mindfulness that there are phenomena is established to the extent necessary for knowledge and awareness, and one abides independent, and one does not cling to anything in the world. Monks, in this way, a monk abides observing phenomena as phenomena in relation to the 5 obstacles.
We have to remember that there are some different words of like aversion, it means this anger, and so when we the mind or the phenomena means the dhamma or the mind object, shall we say, and so the structure is same. Structure is same means if someone want to attain this, the state of peace, nibbana, that is the enlightenment, so he has to start being mindful in themselves. So when they are being mindful in themselves, there are 4 places where he can be mindful, either seeing this body as body instead of identifying it's me and with attachment and suffering and worrying, seeing the nature of the body, or seeing the nature of the feeling. Third, seeing the nature of the mind. Fourth one is seeing the nature of the mind phenomena. So we discussed the 14 meditations on the body and a meditation on feeling, meditation on mind. So today we are learning meditation on the Dhamma or the mind phenomena, or the things arising in our mind. When we being mindful of the mind, there are good side arising in our mind. There are the unwholesome side arising in the mind. So neither of these has to recognize as me or mine or myself. Even we recognize that those are arising due to some cause or reason. When that reason is no longer there, it will fall. As an example, you may worry about being angry for some reason. I feel anger most of the time and I'm so worrying about that. But the thing is, because you are worrying, your anger does not fade away. And at the same time, you do not have authority over the anger. What we can do is to understand, if you have the authority over the anger, you should be able to be angry and furious in this very moment. If I ask you to, hey, can you be angry now? Then you will definitely say, Bhante, how? Oh, on what? Then I have to bring a reason. If I say some reason, if that reason is aligned with your anger, then you will be angry. If not, there is no way to bring anger so fast or just put it down, because those are rising due to a reason. Falling, that reason is no longer there. So likewise, so once we understand this nature of the mind, so now what we are going to do is being mindful of our own self and seeing the hindrances when it arises and when it falls, if it is no longer rising again, being mindful. So that's what we are doing, and then that's the focusing part. The second part is in this way, one abides observing phenomena as phenomena internally, which means himself, their own side, and externally. So if someone improve their understanding to this level, how wonderful he and how lucky his family and friends are. He accepts the others, they know that the others may judge, others may be angry with you, others may have different defilements, but he is not judging the other side. Why? He knows that due to these reasons, anger arises. Due to these reasons, sensual desire arises and falls. Due to these reasons, sleepiness, drowsiness, laziness arises and falls. Due to these reasons, the wandering and worrying and the doubtfulness arises. So in that way, if you have this sort of a good understanding about the mind internally as well, in internal and the other's mind even, so you are creating kind of like a sanctuary, like a happy place to everyone, because you are a person everyone can, they feel like you are a person who can understand them. So that's how lucky you are. And the others also. You are not judging, you are not complaining. The others may judge. Why? You are not doing that. You know that. It's like the same way. If you eat a lot, you'll definitely know something definitely that. You will feel the drowsiness and the sleepiness. The same way, you know the cause and effect. And if you eat a lot of candies or sugar, you know that your blood level will high. So the same way, you know that person is angry because of the wrong thought pattern he has due to this way of thinking. And you accept that setup and you allow them to be angry and understand the anger and let it fade away. And if they are ready to listen at that very moment with compassion, out of compassion, with love and care, teaching them if they would like to listen. If they don't like to listen, never going to say that, because think that if you try to address someone's anger without, if they do not like to hear from you, they'll definitely label you also a hater, like think that someone being angry about a kind of thing that may be about the political situation. If you say like, okay, you are being angry and because of this anger arises not someone else because of your own thinking pattern, then that person will misunderstand that you're also the opposite side. Even you are so neutral with everything. So like guys, so just you have the knowledge, understanding, and you have very good luck in you within yourself because of this understanding. So when you have this knowledge, you will feel like amazing gratitude building towards the Buddha. Wow, he's amazing living being. He taught nice teaching to the humanity. Right. Okay. Now, before we go to this, let's go one, just go to the Pali also. So then you are sure that this. So in here, the Pali means the Buddha's language, and so the Bhikkhu Sujato translated using different words. Katancha means how, like Bhikkhave means monks, in here mendicant means that how monks, a monk being Dhammesu Dhammanupassī viharati, being mindful of the mind phenomena as mind phenomena, instead of identifying it me or mine or myself or any sort of any other frame. Either in this way, like Bhikkhave, in this monks, a monk, he's being mindful of the mind phenomena on 5 hindrances. Panchasu means 5, Nivaranesu means hindrances. This is the way of the Pali language. So asking question and answering, the way Buddha teach. So then Buddha saying how to do that. Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu santang va ajjatang kamachantam. The first step is when we talk about the first hindrance, the desire, in here sensual desire, that's what it says. Ida bhikkhave bhikkhu santang va ajjata. When he has this sensual desire, he understand attime ajjatang kamachandoti pajanati. He realize I'm going through the sensual desire. Like that sensual desire may have its own story towards a beautiful girl or towards a beautiful boy or towards a cake, ice cream or movie or whatever. But that story comes because of the sensual desire. So sometimes you don't have that hindrance. So then he understand, okay, in this moment in my mind, I do not see that sensual desire. That's the second one. If it has, understand, yes, I have. If it does not have, if you don't see it, understand, I don't see it. Then yataja anupannassa kamachandasa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. So think that you don't see it, but anupannasa means is still you don't, it didn't arise yet, but for some reason that unarised desire arised in you. At that very moment you understand that desire which was unarised a moment ago now arised in me. And then the next one is yatacha umpannasa kamachandasa pahanang hoti. For some reason that desire arised, but I controlled with right mindfulness and it ceased, it fallen apart. Then understand that desire is no longer there because you worked on it. Then you understand that. Then the fifth one is yatacha pahinasa kamachandasa ayating anupada hoti tancha pajana. Whatever the desire which ceased, it will never ever arise in future. That also understand if it happens. That means that you are someone who eradicated desire to the last drop. So that's it. So just being mindful, the mind on 5 hindrances, instead of worrying, oh, I'm so full of desire, I'm not a person who can meditate, or or boasting like, oh, you said you guys talking about desire? What's that? I don't have such a thing. If I would like, I will have it, but I don't want. I just let it go. I don't worry about that. Not boasting or identifying with the quality of hindrance, just seeing it rising and falling. Okay. Then the second one, santangva ajjatam vyapada. Vyapada means aversion or the anger. In here it says ill will. So that's why I said that the Pali, learning the Pali term, good, vyapadan. In here it says ill will. The other translation says aversion. I say anger. So you may confuse. Bhante, what are those like? So if you know the Pali term, you know that what's this refer. Okay. Santangva ajatang vyapada. When you have the anger, you understand the anger is here, there, and when you don't see anger, you understand there is no anger. And if it arises, you understand it arises, and if it fall apart, you understand it fall apart. For some reason, if it never ever rise again, you understand it's never ever rising again. So those are the things. And there are reasons like desire arises, we call the subha nimitta. That means seeing the gratification and wrong pattern of thinking. So can you remember that cake story I bring more often? So you receive a cake and so delicious, and you are thinking only the gratification side. So likewise, then your mind attached to that. So that's how it arises. And when you see the opposite of that, the danger of that, every conditioned thing has that gratification, danger, and when you see the danger also, your mind comes to that liberation. So every conditioned thing has gratification, danger, and the liberation. So we need to go see all those 3 to overcome from the attachments. That's right. Everything, like in every good relationship and everything has this. So it doesn't matter whether we have so much of happiness from that. Everything has that. The gratification, the happiness, the danger. Right. Don't think like learning the teaching does not have that. No, it has in here also. So this Buddha saying that the last you have to say goodbye to the attachment to this path also. It's like that, right? Someone want to cross river to go to an island or the other side, doesn't have any sort of boat or something, so he prepare kind of a floating thing using the objects which you can find in this site, and you go to the other side, and once you go there, you don't keep it on your shoulders like, oh, this is the one helped me to go the cross the river, so I should keep it on my shoulder rest of my life. No, it's not the way. You have to let it go. And that's how it is. It's not attached into even what you have learned also. This is something to let go. But don't try to let this go before you're learning that. It's like someone before crossing, just putting all the things you collected to float just to river and thinking that you are in the other side. No, we are still in this side, and understand that. Okay. And anger, the same way, understand if there is anger or if there is not angry, and the reason if it arises and if it falls, and then understand if it is no longer rising, it's no longer rising. So for the anger, reason is the patigha nimitta, which means reason to be angry. That means you have the different expectation which you have attached, but the things have happened in a different way. That's where the anger rises. You expect someone to do something like in your home, you expect someone to do something in a certain way, but they do in a different way. That reason can create anger. For any reason. Like the reason should be like, you have attachment to a different way of something to happen, but things happening in another way. So that is the reason for the Patigani. And there are 10 reasons. I'm not going through it. We have learned it. And then the wrong pattern of thinking creates anger. So then, now, forget about this part. Now we need to bring this, because this should be our practical knowledge, right? I'm going to stop sharing and ask you to bring so what are the 5 things like santang, asantang, and then anuppannang, uppannang, and pahina, I think anupada, which means there are 5 things in the defilement or the hindrance of the sleepiness and the dullness. What are the 5 things when you meditate you can see in yourself? Actually, the 5th one is like the very last, but still we can learn it. Okay. What is the first thing?
Rising.
Very good. Rising. Arising, see it arised. And in the second one, actually not, shall we say like this, rising, that santang, like whether you have anger, right? So what is the second one?
Whether you don't have one thing.
Very good, Linda. Whether you don't have. Okay, I'll keep like this. They understand. I don't have. Third one.
It's never rising again.
That's the 5th one. You jumped. You did a long jump.
It's like fading away.
Yeah. The third one is, okay, the santang whether you have, asantang whether you don't have. Yatacha anuppannasa vyapada chupasa uppadhoti, which means which didn't arise yet, but it arised like in the previous, but it's arising now. Understand? It's arising now. Okay. All right. Then what is the other one?
It will arise.
Say after rised?
Yeah.
False.
It's false. Yes. It's rise and then it falls. And then the 5th one is if it is no longer rising again. Understand that? Okay. Let's go to the sutta again. In here you can get the understanding. This one first, with the essential desire in me, and then if there is no desire in him, and then third one, he understands the rising of unrealized sensual desire. Third one, fourth one, the abandoning of arising sensual desire, and then the 5th one is future non-arising the abundant sensual desire. Those are the 5 things. Right. Okay. Now let's go to the anger again. Okay. Now you all can try, right? So sometimes I know most of you definitely, because this is the right way of learning. So it's not like preaching. So in Buddha's teachings, Buddha clearly defines that, say that to understand this teaching, Dhamma Savana means listening, and then Dhamma Sagacha means the discussion. Why do we need a discussion? You don't understand what I say. You understand what you feel, what you feel, what I said. So then we have to back and forth discuss and come to that, clear it, whether you understood the thing which I have said. Okay. Okay, let's go to the anger. So what is the first thing? Anyone?
Is there anger in me?
Is there anger in me? Okay. When you meditate. So this is another meditation. Okay. What is the second one?
Would it be there is no anger?
Yeah. Whether there is no anger, understand there is no anger. What is the third one?
Anger is arising.
Anger, correct. Arising anger. Right. Then what's the fourth one?
It's fading away.
It's fading away. Okay. What's the fifth one?
It will never be there.
It will never be. Right. Correct. That's how it. So it's very practical, and we have to see within ourselves. Right. Now, you can see this, right? So when you're going to answer, you can find the fifth hindrance even. You had no doubtfulness. So when you're going to talk, you feel like, oh, am I know it right? See it. That's how it works. So up to that, if you have any question, feel free to ask.
Double Bante, Awasara Bante. I would
Yes.
like to ask about the fifth one, the future non-arising one, Bante.
Yeah.
Does that only apply for Arahan, or can we see it like as a Puthujjana, we won't be able to have it not arising anymore in the future? Correct.
Yeah, even Puthujjana,
Yeah.
even Arya Savaka also, like there is, if you have that fetter, then you will still see it rising, right? Like think that someone went to go to the third stage of the enlightenment. So then anger or the desire maybe not there, but the rest of they will definitely.
Yes, Bante. Okay.
Right. And
Bhante, is this a meditation by itself?
yes, this is a meditation by itself.
Not that, okay. And yeah, I was wondering, like, when we do any meditation, we can use this.
Still we can use, because think that you are doing, shall we say, loving kindness meditation, or any sort of, that you are meditating on 32 impurities. So any such, so your mind is not focusing to what you want to do, and you feel like you're still struggling to improve your concentration in that. So then you can go through what's wrong in there. And you may have read some suttas in there, Buddha saying that after the lunch, monk go to some peaceful place and sit and just seeing and eliminating the 5 hindrances and sitting. So that both we can use.
So the second one was, okay, when we use this as by itself as a meditation is the second one you mentioned,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Just
correct.
go and sit down and see which, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, then no need the sutta again. Now we all have kind of a good. Don't worry, I have a very bad memory, so don't rely on the memory. And we have the now we don't want to go to libraries. Now we don't want to go to the anywhere. So in your phone, and now just 1 year away, so you can bring that. So to bring that, to find that, you should have kind of a common sense of like seeing the boundary of the teaching. So therefore, don't let this like, okay, AI will forgive this me when I need, because AI is not connected with our own thought patterns. We have to see it and figure out. So therefore, let's try our best to figure out whenever hindrance arises, how to deal with that. So now it's time to think about the wandering and worry. You're just sitting and you're just understanding your mind. You see your mind is wandered. So now I'm saying the first one. Santang ajatang uddachakukuchang. I have wandering and worrying. Now I understand wandering and worrying. What is the second one?
I don't have wandering. I don't have wandering and worry.
Yeah, don't have the wandering. Okay, I'll help, right? The first one is what we call that when you whether you have wandering and worrying, understanding that. Second one is whether you don't have, understanding you don't have. Third one is
It's rising.
yes, correct. When it's arising, understand it's arising in this very moment. When you're being focused and you see it's rising. Then the fourth one is it's falling apart. It's like you see it's eliminating. And then the fifth one is it's no longer rising again.
Bante, is it like a stages when you just feeling it, or
fifth one is the Henry, the fifth one, the first four we has to like do back and forth because the hindrances will come. So there will be a day that hindrances are no longer there at all. That's the fifth one. It's kind of that will come with the good understanding and realization, but the first four will be the continuously coming. So don't understand it like when we learn this part, don't figure it like, okay, this is a stage. Instead of that, figure out this is the way of my mind.
Would it be safe to say that this is sort of like a mind assessment sort of meditation, helping me to understand where exactly my mind is wandering to, and then understanding where I am in the moment, like whether or not, okay, I'm thinking about this thing that made me angry, but where am I in my state of anger right now? Am I still feeling it, or am I just sort of like reflecting and becoming less angry, and sort of giving myself time to then allow those thoughts to leave in order to move on to a more peaceful and focused meditation as well?
Yeah, correct, Frank. In one way, like this whole the fourth part is assessment of the mind. Not only these five hindrances, there are the other the mind phenomena also. It's all about assessing. So assessing what you have or what you don't have, and instead of framing it like identifying from you from that or creating a personality from that, after understanding that, seeing this side also the same way it works, the other side also the same way, that means the others also, and it's arising, and due to the reasons, there are reasons, and it falls when reasons are no longer there. When your concentrations improve, likewise, what you get in return, you get non-attached, free mind with full of freedom. That's what it gives you.
So, yes. But it looks like it's a different kind of meditation. It's not like you're focusing on something, one thing, but it's like more reasoning. It's more thinking, like elaborate thinking about some problem, and it's kind of different than what we, well, at least I learned so far.
Yeah, so it's like so that in the first three you will definitely see it's like, okay, that being mindful of the body, it's like focusing. The first part, most of the time focusing, and then the second part, the insight. So that the feel, when it comes to the feeling, focusing what you feel, and also kind of assessment there, because whether you have what feeling based on what reason. And when it comes to the mind, the third one, it's like different ways of mind focusing, but also with assisting. Then when it comes to the fourth one, mind phenomena, it's all focus and assisting the whole thing. It's like for that we need a very focused and like very good attention and awareness and knowledge. So that's why if someone's starting to practice meditation, the body scanning or something is the best to start, but he can improve to these levels.
Bhante, like even when we are not doing this 5 hindrances meditation, when we are not meditating also, are we supposed to, like whenever these 5 things come across, should we also, when we are not sitting and meditating, we should be able to use this to avoid us making stories with whatever
Definitely.
happens, right?
Yeah, man. The thing is, now we we shouldn't be in that common misunderstanding most of the people have. Meditating is like this. No, meditating is in the whole 24/7. So meditation doesn't have a posture. So posture, there is a meditation has a posture when we want to make a photograph, publish it, because the others don't know whether you're meditating or not. How can we convince when you're sweeping, we do a meditation, no one will come to a meditation class. They may misunderstand they are doing sweeping. So, but other than that, meditation does not have a sitting or any sort of a posture.
Okay. Except for Anapanasati.
Anapanasati,
Yeah.
because
All the
it
other ones
works
we
on the
can.
breath. Yes,
All the other ones we can do in any posture. Okay.
definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have one question, but I'm not sure how will I put it. So the question is, when we do meditation, a lot of thoughts are coming, right? So how to stop them? What should we think? Like, generally, I try to think, I try to make an image of God or something, but still, I don't know how to basically concentrate.
Yeah, so we need kind of a consistent practice. That the second thing is that now in this sutta, as we discussed, that the wandering and worrying comes. The wandering, you may wonder like, why Bhante saying wandering and worrying? The mind is, when it keep on wandering, it's if it want to stay somewhere, it definitely stay where you can worry.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
Right. So then it comes because your mind does not feel that serenity you would like to have. So as an example, if you try to meditate early morning where you have less thoughts, or so some days you do not work a lot, you feel like kind of a good calmness rather than the other times of the day. So likewise, that wandering and things arising because the mind has lack of serenity in this moment and the wrong way of thinking. So that's why I said in the very beginning, instead of giving any value, think that your mind is wandering, something you have to do after the meditation. You should have a strong thought, strong idea within yourself. Okay, I'm here to meditate, not to do anything. I'm just committing this 5 minutes only to meditate, and you are not planning or giving any value to that thought. You just free yourself for that 5 minutes. So likewise, if you give a single value to a thought, then thoughts know how to take you to the rest of the world. So if you do not giving value in positive or negative, like you don't care that thought and you just bring your attention to your breath or that meditation you're going to practice, you can easily overcome from that.
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right. And yes, and you're all welcome to come and meditate on a Sundays. And of course, from Canada, you don't want to take a ticket and fly here. And but if you're nearby in Rockwell, you can. And if you're in Virginia, you may have to do another meditation to cross the Potomac. But other than that, it's a very good place to come and meditate. And it doesn't matter if you have any place or group where people gather and meditate. It's a very good to have a good group, because I know you all have smartwatch and phone and apps to meditate, help you to meditate, but no, all those things are nothing when you find a good community to sit and meditate. Because even you feel sleepy, when you look around the others meditating, you always feel like, okay, I should try my best. And if anyone have free time the weekdays, most of the time monastery is like free of chaos, like less disturbance. So feel free to come and sit and meditate. If you come, so likewise, just email and we can arrange a lunch for you, and you don't want to worry about the lunch also. And we can offer you a spicy Sri Lankan cuisine lunch also at the monastery. And yes, and Bhantes are there, libraries there, you can read and understand the teachings. Okay, let's say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today we learned about the Dhammanupassana and about the 5 hindrances, and we accumulated many merits, good karma to our life. Let's share all these good karma with all the divinely powers, very good, any private guardians to you with them. And let's share all these good karma blessings with each and with all the past relatives, and with our teacher, Pinat Lokaswaminas, and all the monastic monks, and with each and every one of you who came today to practice and learn meditations and teachings of the Buddha, and all the volunteers who are volunteering to these programs. May you all be well, may you all be happy, may your all good wishes come true, and may you all able to practice Dhamma and experience the peace in your mind and understand 4 noble truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.